Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Film Reviews podcast.
You good?
No, I'm not. I just had a stroke there. I'm Eric, and this is
Corbett.
I call him Corbet. Remember,
It's French.
it's French, and
Probably not. I don't know.
so we have been going through the MCU, and I discovered something while looking up movies just to do it. This year, we have 3 Friday the 13th. We have one.
Nice.
What was it? We're recording this Sunday. The Friday coming up, February 13th. And then March 13th is a Friday 13th.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think November is 2. And so we decided this year we're going to get a few of these movies thrown out so we can continue to hold on. I lost my train of thought right there. Oh.
Do you need to lay down?
I think I need a beer.
You need a beer.
Yeah, I don't drink.
Basically, you want to try to basically get through more of these because of Friday.
Yes, and plus I like this is my favorite series, second to Halloween. If I'm being honest.
That's my favorite.
Wait, does that mean that Halloween's my favorite when I said that, or?
No, you said this was your favorite series.
Okay.
Well, you said next to Halloween, so I guess you pretty much said that Halloween was your favorite series.
Well, Halloween is my favorite series. This is my second. Jesus, I'm going home. I'll see you later.
Just go home.
All right. So, yeah, we got 3 Friday 13th this year. So, we are going to start off with, we already did part 1 last year, Jordan and I. And I tried to get him on for this one. He wanted to, but he wasn't able to get off work. So, it's just going to be, we may catch him in future ones. But right now, it's just going to be us. Because I wanted to get his feedback on him. If you ever get a chance, go back and watch our review of the first one. He had some things to say. And it was nice to have an outsider who's like hardly watched these, get their opinion. So it was nice. So today we're talking about Friday 13th Part 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my God, from 1981. He's going to keep doing this. It's
I need to
okay.
stop.
No, you don't.
Sorry.
It's fine. It don't bother me at all. But so yeah, this one was directed and produced by Steve Miner.
He did how many of these?
He did Part 2 and Part 3.
Okay.
Which his name is also in another horror franchise that we just talked about.
Yeah.
He is the director of Halloween H2O. One of the better ones.
That is a very good one. I'm just saying. Like,
there were some things that I didn't like, but all in all, it was still a great movie.
The fucking mask changing like 3 times.
Yeah. And the fact that you could see his eyes.
Yeah. I didn't like that. That was the only thing I did not like. But anyway, getting back to this.
So, starring Amy Steele, John Fernie, Kristen Baker, Lauren Marie Taylor, Stu Charno, Walt Gorney, Marta Kober, Tom McBride, Bill Randolph, Russell Todd, Cliff Cundy. When they're any relation to Dean Cundy.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
I probably should have looked in that, but probably not.
Oh, well.
Jack Marks, Adrian King, and Betsy Palmer. Written by Ron Kurz and based on characters created by Victor Miller. Cinematography by Peter Stein. Edited by Susan E. Cunningham, which I'm pretty sure that's the wife of Sean S. Cunningham, the guy that did the first one. I think that's his wife or sister. I didn't look into that very much because I didn't think it was that
There's
important.
some kind of relation there. I just forgot how.
Music by Harry Manfredini. I think he did almost all of these.
Oh,
all of them. Nice. Maybe not the new one, but the music is great.
Yeah, no kidding.
Lost my train of thought. So the budget was $1.25 million.
Very, very low.
Box office 21.7.
So it did very well.
So that's what the thing is about, especially the slasher movies from the 80s. You can have a very small budget, and people for some reason likes all this crap, and they'll go out to see it, and it'll make its money back and more.
But it's like, if you, no matter how big the budget is, if you do it right and it catches people's eye, it's going to do well.
I wish I would have been born in the mid-60s.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe mid-60s, maybe early 60s, something like that.
I would have grown up being an adult almost in the 80s throughout and watching this stuff. There were so many good slasher movies that from the...
Yeah.
Even those cheap, silly, goofy ones. I'm going to bring some of them up in a little bit.
Okay.
In a little bit, yeah, but released on May 1st, 1981. I was not born. I don't think you were either.
No, I didn't. I wasn't born until 9 years later. Wait, May what?
May 1st.
Oh, May 1st. Yeah, May 7th is my birthday. So, yeah, a little over 9 years.
Taking place 5 years after the first film, Part 2 follows a similar premise with an unknown stalker killing a group of camp counselors at a training camp near Crystal Lake. The film marks the debut of Jason Voorhees as the series' main antagonist. Following the success of Friday the 13th in 1980, Paramount Pictures began plans to make a sequel, first acquiring the worldwide distribution rights. Frank Mancuso Sr. stated, "We want it to be an event where teenagers would flock to the theaters on that Friday night to see the latest episode." The initial idea for a sequel involved the Friday the 13th title being used for a series of films released once a year that would not have direct continuity with one another, but be a separate scary movie in their own rights. Where did we hear that before?
Yeah, no good.
Which would have been a great idea.
Yeah.
It would. Now, whether the movies would have been good or bad, we'll never know. But it's still a cool premise.
Yeah,
Halloween should have done it.
It's a cool thought, but of course, like John Carpenter said, he made it to where that was supposed to be the only one, if you remember. But in a way, I'm kind of glad they did do a sequel to it.
Yeah, same thing for this, and I enjoyed the sequels of both these franchises to an extent. However, I still would like to travel to the universe where the real idea played out.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. But, where am I? I'm lost. Phil Scuderi?
Who?
Scuderi, Jesus Christ. One of three owners of Esquire Theaters, along with Steve Minasian.
Close enough.
And Bob Barsamian, who produced the original film, insisted that the sequel have Jason Voorhees, Pamela Voorhees' son. Even though it appeared in the original film, his appearance was only meant as a joke. Steve Miner, associate producer on the first film, believed in the idea and would go on to direct the first two sequels after Cunningham opted not to return to the director's chair. Miner would use many of the same crew members from the first film while working on the sequels. Cunningham had mixed feelings about the entire Friday the 13th enterprise that he outlined from film critic and author Stephen Hunter in an interview for a book Hunter wrote on violent films. Hunter stated that Cunningham wasn't particularly proud of his work on the films, and Cunningham bluntly said that the only thing that seems to reach a teenage audience at the time involved high levels of gore and graphic violence. He wasn't off. No. Adrienne King, who played Alice, was pursued by an obsessed fan after the success of the original Friday the 13th, and purportedly wished her role as Alice Hardy to be as small as possible, though in the documentary Crystal Lake Memories, The Complete History of Friday the 13th, it was stated that King's agent had asked for a higher salary, which the studio could not afford. Yes,
that's why her character was so small at the beginning. Yeah.
So yeah, she said
I read about that. I was like, damn, that must have been crazy.
She said the person that stalked her got into her life, as in like got acquainted with the people that she knew, and ended up. I think she ended up with a gun in her face. I think that's how the story goes.
I heard something about that. I was like, damn, come on.
And I actually heard her tell some of this story. I went to a horror convention in Dallas, Texas. And if you've ever been to a convention, they have all those booths set up where the celebrity sits at the table with all the stuff to sign, and the person with them that helps them out. They are all like together. She had a booth, not in with them, not because of what happened. It was just she was there kind of for another reason.
Right.
She does art.
Okay.
So she was showing them some art, and she wanted to tell her story. And me and my girlfriend at the time, we were walking around. We saw. I was like, "Hey, she's from Friday the 13th," and there were some people standing there, and she was telling a story. And we walked up, and she was telling about the story about what happened. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, there was. I think Heather Langenkamp, the girl that played Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street, I think she dealt with a stalker too. It's like, just leave them alone.
Stop being a bunch of fucking creeps. I'm just saying.
Principal photography took place from October 3rd and finished in November 1980, and primarily occurred in New Preston and Kent, Connecticut. Special effects artist Tom Savini was asked to work on the film but declined because he was already working on another project, Midnight, from 1980.
Right.
It came out in 1982. Never heard of it.
I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about it.
In addition, he was not receptive to the concept of Jason as the killer in the film. Savini was then replaced by Stan Winston. Winston, however, had a scheduling conflict and had to drop out of the project, so the makeup effects were ultimately handed to Carl Fullerton. Fullerton designed the makeup effects, were ultimately I just read that again. And designed the look of the adult Jason, and went with long red hair and a beard while following the facial deformities established in the original film in the makeup designed by Tom Savini for Jason as a child. Fullerton looked for the adult Jason was abandoned in the sequel, Friday the 13th Part 3, despite the fact that the film took place the following day and was helmed by the same director, Steve Miner. Some fans have theorized that the sequel shows Jason with a beard and long hair reflects a dream rather than a reality, because the following sequel picks up with the events showing his face having not happened, therefore was represented what Jenny guessed and what he looked like under the burlap sack, rather than what he actually looked like, which would excuse the break in continuity. Actor Warrington Gillette played Jason unmasked at the end of the film, and stuntman Steve Deskowitz, also known as Steve Dash, that's what he goes by, was credited as Jason's stunt double, but played the masked Jason throughout the rest of the film.
Right.
So I heard stories that the Warren Gillette that played the unmasked Jason would always go around conventions telling them, like, yeah, I'm Jason Part 2 and all this stuff. He was only there for the unmasking.
For the revealing, yeah.
Steve Dash was there most of the time.
I like a Tony Moran thing.
Yep.
From But
so apparently they hated each other. Well, they used to. Steve Dash died in 2018.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't the guy who played Jason throughout the majority of the movie die?
Yeah. I think it was 2018. Yeah.
But I'm just wondering why Tom Savini didn't like the concept of Jason being the killer.
I guess it was
that's
one.
what I wonder.
I guess it was one of the things that they were proud of the first movie, what they did, because it was so successful. And having Jason at the end of that was kind of like a dream.
But of course, at the same time, if the plans of having a sequel was already going to come into play and Pamela Voorhees was killed at the end of the first one, who would they have to be the killer?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like the only concept would be is to bring Jason to the...
Yeah, bring Jason to life.
Yeah, bring Jason to life.
That's one of those things that we'll never understand. They were like, "Hell, let's just do it," and then
maybe
movie history.
Maybe Tom Savini was on something at the time. I don't fucking
know. Like its predecessor, Friday the 13th Part 2 had difficulty receiving an R rating from the Motion Picture Association of America. Upon reviewing the film, the Classification and Rating Administration warned Paul Hager, an executive at Paramount, that the accumulation of violence throughout the film may still lead to an X rating, even if sustainable cuts were made. A total of 48 seconds had to be cut from the film in order to avoid an X rating. The film received a deluxe DVD release in February 2009, but the edited footage was not included. Most noted by censors was the murder scene of Jeff and Sandra, who are impaled by a spear while having sex in a bed, a scene many have compared to a scene in Mario Bava's A Bay of Blood, which censors found particularly graphic. In September 2020, it was announced that the uncut footage has been located by Samuelson Studios and was included as an extra on the upcoming box set released from Scream Factory, which is this right here.
Look what you did. You dropped it.
I'm just going to put it back. I got this in 2020 around my birthday.
That is pretty cool, though.
That was one of the worst years of my life. But this, besides my son being born, of course, is the best thing that happened to me. It was cool having all of them at once because they could never get the rights because there's a lawsuit going on. I'm not going to explain the lawsuit because I still quite don't understand how it works. But somehow they got to get a box set out.
But also at the same time, you got the damn lawsuit going on. Would you just get over it, squash the shit so you can make something else?
Yeah.
Jeez, just do it.
Just do it. Like Nike.
No.
No?
No. I'll take it over now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right. I got a little bit of information left. We can get started.
All right.
The film released theatrically on May 1st, 1981, bringing in $6,400,000 its opening weekend. It played in 1,300 screens and would ultimately gross $21.7 million on a budget of $1.25. Though a financial success, the sequel's $7,800,000 was the 35th highest grossing film of 1981. No, wait. Admissions only accounted for 53% of the original film's 14 million tickets sold. It was the 35th high-grossing film in 1981, facing strong competition for such high-profile releases as The Omen 3, The Final Conflict, The Evil Dead, The Howling, My Bloody Valentine, Happy Birthday to Me. Have you ever seen that?
Happy Birthday, yep. I've seen that one.
Graduation Day. I need to see that.
I've seen that one. That one's good.
Halloween 2 and The Burning. Have you seen The Burning?
I've never seen The Burning.
Hey, we got to do The Burning.
Okay. But Halloween 2, yep.
Yeah, so Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times wrote that Friday the 13th Part 2 is a cross between the mad slasher and dead teenager genre. About 24 movies a year feature a mad killer going berserk, and they're all about as bad as this one. Some have a little more plot, some have a little less. It doesn't matter. He finished his half-star review for Part 2 by writing, "This review will suffice for the Friday the 13th film of your choice." They really didn't like those movies.
No, they didn't. Not at all.
I don't think any slasher, like Halloween, I think was like the only one they actually liked.
Yeah, Halloween, but I mean, I kind of heard that they kind of liked Nightmare on Elm Street. So, I mean, but would you consider that as part of the slasher genre? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To an extent.
To an extent, yeah. Because I mean, he was more of a supernatural being. He only appeared in your dreams unless you pulled his ass out.
Which I never understand. You can never kill Freddy because, okay, so I know this is off subject, but just real quick. So you got a guy who kills you in your dreams, and you find out that you could take him out into the real world, and he's weak. You can kill him. All what someone has to do is dream about him again or say his name. People think about him. There he is again.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why Freddy is my least favorite slasher.
Honestly, yeah.
But still, I could watch the movies.
Very entertaining because I've always liked Robert Englund.
I like the Leprechaun movies better than Freddy movies. Is that weird? I don't know. And I haven't even seen all of the Leprechaun movies, and I like them more.
It's funny.
And it's weird, right?
It's weird, but it's funny.
But yeah,
got a friend who's like a leprechaun.
Oh my God! Well, let's not say his name.
No, I'm not going
or say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
If he knocks at my door, I'll swear to God.
Call back. Where are you?
Go away.
Go away, little man.
Little man, go away. All right, let's get back.
You ready to get into this? All right.
And we're off. Okay. Stupid.
Kid plays in a puddle and then walks home after being called from his mom, singing, what was it, Itsy Bitsy Spider?
Itsy Bitsy
Just
Spider.
stepping in and out of the puddle. Oh, Mom! Steps in the puddle and takes 2 steps away.
I'm just getting this water.
Yeah. But what's crazy is that he literally takes 2-3 steps away and then
you see
the feet. Like, where was he standing? Was he standing on the curb or was he hiding?
I don't know. Like, well, I mean, if that was in the city area, I don't think there was really nothing he could hide behind. So he had to have been standing right there on the curb.
But yeah, apparently, this scene of the mystery character, which of course we know that's Jason, but it's supposed to be a mystery. I don't know why, but apparently they had a female put on the overalls and boots and walk through the puddle.
Really?
Literally the only scene is this. They had a woman do it. I don't remember her name, and I don't know if she was a crew member or not. I'm not sure. But, yeah, that's the only scene where the other 2 that we mentioned earlier that are Jason, wasn't Jason in this part. So, yeah, walks up to an apartment, and Alice is in there. And she's having a dream of the last act of the first movie. So if you missed what happened at the end of the first movie, here you go.
I'm not going to lie. When she's having the flashback, the dream of what happened and everything like that, and the part where they're fighting at the beach, and Mrs. Voorhees grabs her by her hair and starts smashing her face into the sand, I laugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I laugh. Oh, damn.
So as she spent, that's crazy too. Mrs. Voorhees spent that whole movie killing people with like one shot.
Yeah.
Yet the last person that she fights, she just slaps around.
Yeah. I don't get that.
But okay. Yeah. So yeah, she has the dream. She's dreaming about the end of the movie, and then she wakes up. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever she hears the sounds and she goes into the kitchen and she's going up to the window and the fucking cat jumps through the window, it scared the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that old cat trick, which is fine. I don't mind that trope. But she's basically away from everyone so she could cope with everything to like get with her. But it's like, wouldn't you want to be with people?
She was traumatized.
Yeah, I know, but wouldn't you want to be with someone? Like, stay with your parents, them to help you out. You know what I mean?
That might be one of those things where some people just cope better alone. I mean, I'm not sure.
So, her mom calls and she tells her, like, this is the only way I know how. And then she goes to take a shower, and then someone said it was the quickest shower ever. Like, I've seen people talk about it. But
something like that, yeah.
But if you think about it, she goes in there, and then, like, the phone rings, but she comes out, and it's a cut. So she already out and dried off and stuff. She just has the thing on. It's like, yeah, it wasn't a quick shower. It was a cut.
But
time passed.
But I think the reason why people say that is because normally whenever you go in there to take a shower, especially a woman, they're going to wash their hair.
Yeah.
Her hair was still dry.
Okay. Yeah.
If you notice that, yeah.
Yeah, unless she was about to get in and didn't do it. Yeah. I'm sorry. I went on a rant for no reason. Yeah, so the cat thing happens, and at the same time, she had some tea brewing on the stove.
Yeah, she was heating up the water.
And she opens her fridge to get something for the cat.
And lo and behold,
someone, and she sees Mrs. Voorhees' head in the fridge. And she screams, and then the mystery person behind her grabs her and puts an ice pick in her head.
Right in the temple.
Yeah, which apparently it was supposed to be a retractable one, but someone misplaced it, and when he tried to jab
I heard
her head,
about the jabbing into her damn temple. Yeah,
I've never found out how bad it was, but I don't think it was that bad. I don't think she went to the hospital.
I don't think anything terrible happened. I think maybe if anything, it might have punctured the skin a little bit, but not too much.
And apparently Jason's considerate because he takes the tea off the thing.
That confused me. It's like, okay, you just got done killing this woman and didn't want the apartment to burn down.
But so that beginning was 2 months after. And now she's dead, and now it cuts, it says 5 years later. A man named Paul Holt has opened a school for camp counselors on the shore of Crystal Lake. So he's going to be training some counselors for the upcoming camping season. And Jeff and Sandra, they stop at a payphone to call for directions. And while they're talking, you see someone hooking up his truck in the back. And as he's driving off, they see and they go chasing him. Well, yells at the guy, calls him an asshole.
Yeah, well, before they notice the truck being hauled off, some crazy ass dude comes walking up to him.
Crazy Ralph.
Yeah, Crazy Ralph.
I forgot. I knew he was in the movie. Crazy more Ralph. Than his exit scene, but I watched this movie and I didn't remember that. I must have blinked or sneezed or something and missed it. Yeah, but Crazy Ralph tells them they're doomed. But yeah, chases the car, calls the guy an asshole.
The other ones
they didn't listen, and come to find out, their friend Ted. Yeah, he
set it up.
Him. Yeah, and he knows the guy, which
and he said he's crazy too. Damn.
You see how weird looking the Ted guy was?
Yeah.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Do you remember that podcast I showed you when the little kid's screaming? He moved across the country. The other dude. The other skinnier dude next to him.
You're talking about.
You know that he looks like him. It looks like what he would be in 20 years. Even though that kid's 20 and this dude's supposed to be like 20 something.
He does look. He
looks like him. The nose. It's the nose.
Oh God.
So yeah, they met and they drive to the thing, and he's telling them jokes, and Branch is in the road, and they get out to move it, and Sandra sees sees a sign for Camp Crystal Lake, and she wants to go, but Ted said no, they can't go. So as they get there,
and they said it was off limits.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you get other counselors, Scotty, Terry, and Mark the paraplegic, Vicky, Ted, and some other random ones that
I like Mark the paraplegic. I like him.
So the girl that played Vicky, and Vicky in the movie, how she was so thirsty for him.
Oh yeah,
she wanted that crippled D so bad. He's like, when they're playing those games later on, and he goes, "What position?" She no, what are we playing for? She looks at him, position.
Yeah, position. And then like when she asked what happened to him and told him what happened, and said, does other things work?
Like, gosh, she wants it so bad.
What is that?
So that actor is hold on. I wrote it. The actor who played Mark was Tom McBride. He was not really in a wheelchair, but sadly, he passed away in 1995 due to an AIDS-related illness.
Damn.
He was openly gay.
Damn.
And apparently that actress, so in that Camp Crystal Lake documentary, the Crystal Lake Memories I told you, I've watched it several times, and I saw the interview with her. There's a little section where they talk about him, like in memory of him. And she said that in behind the scenes, she was trying to flirt with him because she thought he was cute and wanted to go out with him.
Oh, really?
And he kept denying her. And then halfway through the production, she wasn't being annoying.
Right.
She wasn't annoying him, but he had to tell her that oh yeah, this ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, this will happen.
And she was like, oh rats in the interview. She's like, darn. But yeah, he wasn't in a wheelchair in real life. And
okay.
He caught the AIDS.
He caught the AIDS. Damn.
So where am I? And Paul's sitting there telling the rules. And at that time, Jenny's pulling up in her car.
Jenny.
Completely
different Jenny.
Yes. Okay. The nicer Jenny. The good Jenny. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know, it's so fucked up too.
So he's talking about the ladies, keep up with your menstrual cycles.
I thought that was really weird.
And it shows the two girls up front, and one of them, I forgot to mention, has a pet dog, Muffin.
Muffin, yeah,
yeah. And that night they're sitting around the campfire, and Paul's telling the story about Jason, about everything that happened. I don't need to go into it because we know.
Yeah.
But as he's telling the story, you see someone jump out with a mask and a spear, scaring everyone.
Yeah. And
that was Ted. And Paul just reassures everyone that Jason's dead and the Camp Crystal Lake is now condemned and off limits. And that same night, Crazy Ralph is wandering onto the property. And I think this is at the moment, too, where Jenny and Paul are in their room about to get busy. And he's almost watching by a tree.
He's pretty much, yeah.
And he looks.
He looks away because he hears the snap, yeah.
And then the wire comes, which is crazy because Jason it was way up here.
And it came this, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I caught that too. I was like, wait, that's a fuck up.
Yeah, so Crazy Ralph is dead finally. Finally. Why did I say that? I don't know.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. I didn't mean it like that.
He is dead finally.
So the following day, they're swimming and eating hot dogs. And I wrote this scene down because I thought it was funny. Where Ted is cooking the hot dogs. He's like, come and get them. And Jeff's just standing there and he goes, I'm here.
Yeah, he goes, I'm here.
I don't know why I found that funny.
I laughed too. That was funny.
Yeah, so
them girls wanted their hot dogs.
Oh, yeah. So Jeff and Sandra sneak off to Camp Crystal Lake because she wants to go so bad to see this camp. Now, this Sandra, she's something else, ain't she?
No shit.
In that bikini.
No kidding, right?
Yeah. You want me to ruin your day?
Okay.
She was 16 when they filmed this.
Oh!
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Found this out, too.
Oh, my God, no.
I know, right? She had a full frontal nudity scene.
Yeah, it's 16 years old.
Yeah, and it was cut. And they thought they got rid of the footage, but there was an old copy of it somewheres that somebody that was a part of the movie had. Not because of that scene, but he had it.
He had the different cut.
And the stuff that was on there that wasn't in the theatrical release was re-released for future box sets, most likely this too, except that scene has been removed, so you can't find that anywhere.
Yeah, because it's considered
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, now it's considered and that's a big no.
I couldn't find anything else about like what happened, like who got in trouble or if there was trouble.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure somebody did, but I didn't look into it. But so I just wanted to
see that's just sick to have. That's just my opinion. That's just sick.
No, it's just 16. I know that technically it's almost there, but no.
But of course, back in 1981, it was different.
Yeah, things.
But nowadays, hell no.
Where am I? No, I'm sorry. They're walking through the woods and they see a carcass.
You know what? I thought that was Muffin at first.
Yeah, but because earlier Muffin is walking up to someone at their feet, just walks up and then all you see is feet. Then it cuts.
Yeah, and then you see the dead carcass in the woods.
Yeah, and then they're looking at it, and then they get scared from behind, and it's a cop. They get caught, so they brought back the camp, and he had to tell Paul, and he's like, "What kind of thing you're running around here? Like, they got to respect our boundaries." So Paul, Jenny was there?
Yeah,
and he's like, "Make sure that Jeff and Sandra don't get seconds on their desserts.
On their desserts tonight."
And he didn't take it very serious. Yeah, he wasn't having it. But this Deputy Winslow. So when he's leaving, he's driving down the road, and as he does, he sees someone run across the road with burlap sack on his head.
I remember the first time I ever saw that part. Scared the shit out of me because it scared me because I was very young whenever I saw it the first time.
Yeah, so I didn't write this down, but this could probably be a good spot to say it. But they talked about the burlap sack on the head, and he has one eye hole because Jason has a messed up face. Well, Steve Dash said that they tried to do it without with just the one hole and just having it flop around, but it was moving so much that he couldn't see where he was going.
He could, yeah.
So they took some double-sided tape, stuck it to the top to put right here above the eye, and then down here above here. Well, he wore it for so long, it made like a rash around his eye.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So he hated that.
Whenever he would run, it would go over his eye. It would disrupt his vision. He wouldn't be able to continue doing the scene. He kept having to stop. It was like, do something about this shit.
So, and Deputy Winslow, he chases him through the woods, and he comes across a shack. And it's pretty run down. And he opens the door, and you don't see what he's looking at, but he's freaking out about it. He's like, "Oh my god!"
That's why I wish there was a cut to show what it was he was looking.
No, we do see at the end.
Oh, so that was his.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to piece that together, but I guess I just didn't realize.
And so he wouldn't tell anyone. Jason gets him in the back of the head with a claw.
You gotta be a strong son of a bitch to bust through your skull with the hammer.
Hey, I hit myself. I didn't kill myself because, of course, I'm still here. But
I didn't kill myself.
When I was, it was like my grandma passed away the other day, which is weird because she's never done that. That's a joke I heard somewhere. When I was little, I was using a hammer and I was hitting it pretty hard. And then I decided to try one big time. So I grabbed both hands and came back like this. And when I did, I scraped the back of my head with the claw. And my neighbor that lived behind me was out there, and they saw it. Like, "Hey, are you okay?" I was like, "I don't know. I had my hand there. I didn't move it." And I was in the back of my house outside. Right. Through the back door to the front. And my dad was sitting in the living room. And I had my hand right here. And I said, "Dad, am I bleeding?" And my dad, I was right here where you are, and he was sitting in his chair. And he looked at me and saw. And my dad was a pretty big guy, but I'd never seen him get up so fast. He got up to take me, and as I did, I took my hand, and my whole hand had blood on it.
You scalped yourself.
Yeah, and he went and helped me and everything. I didn't need stitches; it was just like a scrape. But I would tell both my parents are no longer here, but when we got older, we'd talk about that every once in a while. And they never believed me because they said at the time I blamed my little brother. And it's like, I don't know why I blame my little brother. I mean, I did it myself. Like, I didn't die. I just scraped, it's not like he tried to kill me.
Right.
Or whatever. Like, I don't know why I would say that, but anyway, yeah.
The only thing I can think of is that you possibly blamed him to avoid getting in trouble because you were playing with the hammer.
Probably so.
That's the only thing I can think of.
But, back at camp, Paul offers the others one last night in the town before training begins. And I said, this is a good way to thin out the herd. Yeah. Some stay, some go.
Thin out the herd.
Yeah. So, which there's a black kid in the movie. He raises his hand about going, and they the camera kind of pans to
the rest of them. Yeah.
But this black kid is wearing I can't remember what kind of shirt, but he was wearing rainbow suspenders.
Yeah.
That is the exact outfit that a creature is wearing that's coming out of the toilet have you ever heard of the movie Ghoulies?
Yeah.
There's a poster with a ghoulie coming out of a toilet. He's wearing the little ghoulie puppet is wearing that same outfit. Yeah. That's weird. But
that's funny.
So they're at the bar and Jenny asked if Jason was still alive, and he witnessed his mom. He what impact it would have on him. He wouldn't understand. Would he be a frightened retard? It's like, damn, son.
You said he's called a frightened retard. Jeez.
Yeah. So
just trying to figure it out from a psychologist's point of view.
So. Yeah, they're just sitting there drinking, and Paul's just dismissing it, and he's nothing but an urban legend. And while this is going on, the assailant appears at the camp and starts killing the counselors one by one.
Go ahead.
Around this time is Terry, the girl wearing the smallest clothes, decides to go skinny dipping, and we get full frontal, titties and bush. No, bush. We have the poof afro.
He said,
she gets into the water, and then someone's watching her. And then she gets out. They take his clothes, and it's Scott, the little horn dog that was dancing with the
Scott, that little prevert.
He who was dancing with her dog earlier in the movie. I didn't write that, but that wasn't that important. But I remember that. But
it was just kind of fucking weird, but okay.
Yeah, because he asked her to dance and she wouldn't. So he's like, "Will you?" And he's all talking to it. But he takes her clothes, and as he's running, he gets caught up in a little trap.
The dog can't talk, you retard.
And so he's asking her to help, and she's like, "I should leave you hanging, you little pervert." She's like, "Please let me down." And she's like, "You promise to leave me alone?" I was like, "Yes, I promise." She goes, "Fine." She runs to go get a knife, and as he's waiting, Jason comes up behind him, grabs him, and for some reason,
you notice how
takes the blunt end of the machete. It's like, why didn't you use the sharp end, Jason?
But it was crazy. It was crazy because he used the blunt end of it, and he had it at like basically the blade was flat on his neck. And he just kind of slid it across.
The slit was cool because it cut and then the blood ran down because he was hanging upside down.
But what was crazy, he didn't have it at too much of an angle. He had that sumbitch flat, so you could tell he didn't do anything.
The cut was cool, but they could have made it look a little more real. And then she comes back and he's dead. And then she runs and then she gets killed by a cutaway.
By a cutaway,
yeah. And then they're at the bar and they're about to leave. The weather's getting bad. So at this time too, Sandra and Jeff are doing. He was arm wrestling Mark. Then she was like, "Don't wear yourself out." So they go upstairs, and then the thirsty girl's trying to get with him, so they're doing their stuff, and then that leads them two upstairs, and they get busy, and Jason decides, no, No, wait a minute.
No, they started. She was going to arm wrestle him, but then they decided to start playing the game,
Yeah,
the little hand game.
yeah.
They
Asking
went
all
up
the questions
yeah,
Uh,
and stuff.
They went up there
Okay.
and was about to get busy.
Okay, 'cause I was trying to remember. Vicky is her name.
Yeah, Vic.
She finally gets to Mark. They kiss. She goes to get prepared while he waits. She goes away, and he's on the porch,
He was on the porch. Yeah,
minding his own fucking
he
business.
was just sitting there minding his own damn business, and then
whack, machete right to the face.
The blunt end too.
Yeah, the blunt end again.
Not the sharp end.
Jason's so good, he uses the blunt end.
He used the blunt end, and it just rammed through his fucking face.
And then he goes backwards down the stairs. Boom, 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 boom.
And you
boom,
see
boom.
his head like.
Yeah. And then
it does that flash away shit. It stops. It does that steel.
And while this is going on, we're just mentioning all the deaths right now because this is basically where they happen. Vicky gets no. They cut upstairs again, and now it's Jeff and Sandra.
Now it's Jeff and Sandra.
They get busy. Sandra is getting ready in another cabin, so Jason takes the spear and goes upstairs and
impales them.
So Jeff's on top.
Yeah, Jeff's on top.
And then he says that, and then she sees him through them, and it goes out the other end. I like how it goes
out the bottom of the bed.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if this footage was filmed. I wish I would see this, but this is something they probably couldn't show at the time because it was so graphic.
Right.
And plus, she was underage. But so they're impaled on each other.
Yeah.
And he's dead, but she's not quite dead. She is trying to push him off, but she can't get him off because they're together. But I thought that would be such a cool scene. She's struggling, trying to live to get this body off, but she can't because he's stuck to her.
Yeah.
That just seems really cool to me that I wish we could see in a movie nowadays because they let a little more stuff fly. But apparently the footage was filmed, but they had to cut it because
it was too graphic back in 1981.
They said it looked too real. I think it was an interview with Tom Savini. He saw the footage later on.
Right.
Yeah, so I wish I would have seen that.
Yeah.
So, and Vicky goes upstairs and sees blood in their bed.
Yeah, there was blood.
No, there was blood, and when she pulls it back...
no, I don't think there was blood in the bed. She pulls it back to try to talk to him, and then Jason pops up,
cuts her in the leg. She backs up. Jeff is hanging dead.
Yeah, he's
there.
Dead. Yeah.
And Jason's just walking up to her slowly.
And you know what? He had the butcher knife.
He had that butcher knife. Stabbed her. And she's gone. And
little homage to Michael Myers in that scene.
So this is when they cut back to the bar.
Because they're running out of the bar.
They run out the bar. It's starting to rain. I wanted to bring this up too because okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure out a way to get it out. As she's running in the rain, her and Paul run into their car. You see a guy with a poncho running past them, and he goes up the stairs into the bar.
The poncho dude, yeah.
That guy that runs up is the guy that played Jeff.
Really?
That got killed on the bed. Yeah.
Really?
In the interview on
Crystal Lake Memories, an extra. It was just an extra.
And they were like, we need someone to run up the stairs like kind of fast because it's raining. And he goes, I can do it.
Damn.
You can cover me with something. You don't need to see me.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was him. I thought that was cool. But, so everybody's dead, but they don't know. Jenny and Paul are heading back. So Ted stays behind too, and the others. So it's just Jenny and Paul.
Just Jenny and Paul, yep.
And they're looking around. Something's going on. return to the house, and they're looking around because it's dark. And Jenny's like, Paul, there's someone in the room. And as he's looking behind, you can't see, he don't see, but you see someone come up behind him, and it's Jason. And she's like, Paul, there's someone in this fucking room. Then they wrestle down, and so he takes Paul down.
And he like knocks him out. Yeah.
Yes, and so he goes after her.
And she's like, Paul, and he just pops up.
Yeah. And then, so she's running, and she eventually gets to a room where she's hiding under the bed. And she looks, and there's a mouse. And she sees it and closes her eyes. And then, when I was little, I thought it was the mouse that peed.
I thought it was too. I thought it was the mouse that was peeing.
It was supposedly her. And I think it was real pee.
It looked really real. Like real pee.
Yeah.
Maybe she had to pee during that scene too bad. She's like, you know what? I'm going to do it.
So,
and they left it in the
Yeah, so
I don't know.
The sound, I guess, of the pee made Jason look.
Yeah, because he's walking out the door and
and she's waiting, and she don't see him. As she scoots out and looks up, he's up there waiting.
I laughed so hard at that part because whenever she looks up, screams, and he's about to stab her, the fucking chair breaks.
Yeah, and he falls and breaks the thing. And
the pitchfork, yeah.
And she tried to stab him with it. And then
they just both suck.
Yeah, she goes somewhere and gets the chainsaw, and she turned it on to go after him. And what was funny is Jason did this little,
he did like
yeah.
Don't test me, man.
So
like that.
So yeah, she finally gets away, and she makes it into the woods, and she eventually finds the cabin.
Not quite yet. She tries to get away in her car, and it wouldn't start.
Her car? Oh, yeah.
Remember the little bug?
But it's so funny is that he comes to the side of the car, and she freaks out, and then he just, he disappears.
Yeah.
And then she stabs the roof with the pitchfork. And then she gets out, makes it through the woods, and she comes across Jason's cabin, and she gets in, and she can already tell that it smells bad in there.
That's crazy because, and like, another one that kind of gave me the creeps is whenever she thinks that someone's staying in there, she runs in there, she notices it's all fucked up in there, and in the background you see him running up to her.
That's a cool shot. I like that.
That was a cool shot. Yeah, and, but it was really creepy.
Yeah, though. She finally gets into the room that Deputy Winslow saw, and she screams.
And what's her name? The chick who wore hardly any clothes.
Yeah, you see, it's a shrine to his mom's head, which looks different from the beginning of the movie. And
has her sweater on the front.
And I thought about for years when I was younger watching this, why does the head look different? They couldn't get that same head, but stupid me didn't realize that the film takes place 5 years later.
5 years later,
the head
decomposed.
Is decomposed, which also next to her on the ground is the decomposing body of Alice. With the ice pick in her head.
Yep.
And then on the side of her was Terry, the girl with skimpy clothes. And then on the other side was Deputy Winslow. And that's when she realizes that at that moment that the person that's chasing her is Jason.
It's Jason, yeah.
So, yeah, they have the sweater. So she puts the sweater on and basically tries to pretend her to be his mom. And he finally gets in, and she
almost had it. She almost had it, but she had to move the wrong way.
It had the Mrs. Voorhees head.
Yeah.
Or no, Betsy Palmer.
It was her, yeah. It was actually her,
a voiceover. Not a voiceover, but it was her.
It
was Jason. She was pretending to be his mom. And she's about to kill him, and she moved just slightly, and he saw the head. And she's about to chop him, and she uses the pitchfork. He uses pickaxe.
Pickaxe.
To block it. I wrote down here, too, where is it?
And then he used the pickaxe to slice her leg open.
Real quick, Steve Dash was rushed to the emergency room during the filming of this after she cut his hand with the machete. the timing was wrong when she came down, and it sliced his hand. And he received 13 stitches on his middle finger. And during the subsequent shoot, he was forced to wear a piece of rubber over his finger. And both he and Steele insisted on reshooting the scene so they could get the right one.
Dang.
Okay. But yeah, cut his finger. And he went to the hospital with a machete in his right here.
The prop, yeah.
And the makeup on.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he wore the makeup. He was the makeup. But yeah, he went in there with that.
Wow.
But yeah, so as they're fighting, Paul comes back to save her, knocking stuff down in there. The thing looks like it's about to fall apart.
Paul cannot fight. I'm just saying.
No, Paul
cannot fight.
So as Jason's about to kill Paul, she takes the machete and jams it into Jason's side, and he freaks out and falls and seemingly dead. And they pull off his mask.
When they see he's all fucked up.
Yeah, they don't show it, but Paul just goes, Jesus. So he helps Jenny because she's hurt because he cut her leg. Gets back to a near cabin, and they're
got to
sitting
help
there.
his Jenny.
Yeah, and they hear something at the door, and they're both prepared. Paul grabs the broken handle end of the pickaxe while Jenny's sitting there with the actual part. And here's where the movie gets confusing.
Pitchfork.
Yeah, here's where the movie gets confusing. They open the door, and it's Muffin, the dog.
Alive the whole time.
What was that in the woods? You know? I will explain that when I'm done with this. But it's to lull you into a false sense because she stands up all happy, and it's that wide shot where watching back in the day you probably wouldn't know, but over the years, especially now, watching films, that wide shot, something about to happen.
Oh yeah,
and as she stands up all happy, here comes Jason with no mask, with a messed up face, with a red beard and red hair, and that's the Warren Gillette guy.
Yeah,
and they apparently had to shoot that a couple times. What is it? I think I wrote that down too.
Okay, I got a question.
Hold on.
Yeah.
The scene where Steele's character Jenny gets grabbed from behind by the unmasked Jason in the climax took 3 takes to shoot it right. Steele was tense and frightened during filming of the whole scene. Yeah, so every time they did it, she was scared because he didn't know when he was going to come through. Because all he had to do, he was on a platform, and he had to take 2 steps, break through, grab her, 2 steps back.
Right.
Yeah. And then so it goes white. Where Paul was up there, and they were in the back.
Yeah.
She wakes up being put in an ambulance on a stretcher, and she's yelling Paul's name. Where the fuck did Paul go?
Yeah. Where did Paul go, and where did the rest of them go? They stayed back at the bar, but that was it.
Yeah, they were lucky.
Yeah, they were
the lucky ones. And, of course, we get the shot where zooming into Mrs. Voorhees' head and roll credits. I don't know if you know this, but originally the film was supposed to end with Mrs. Voorhees' head, her eyes opening and smiling towards the camera.
Oh, wow.
Miner removed the scene out of the film as he ultimately decided that would make the film's conclusion too silly. To this day, the footage of this alternate ending has yet to be released. Apparently, they filmed it. And it's been a while since I've watched the movie, and I have a 65-inch TV, and you can notice things more because the screen is bigger. When her head is there and it's zooming in, it's getting close, and then you can tell when an 80s movie, when they have a scene where the scene kind of pauses.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I could slightly see something twitch, like an eye, because, you know, when you pretend to die, you're not really dead, so your eye kind of twitches.
So are you thinking like that might have been an actual person's head poking up through that little shrine thing?
Yeah, it was supposed to be her severed head, but it was someone else in the makeup.
Yeah.
To open the eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
It wasn't.
basically what you're saying is whenever they showed the shrine of her head at first, that was a prop, possibly.
Yes, but
Whenever it was zooming in at the end, that was an actual person's head.
Yes. I thought I could see. I could be totally wrong because
possible.
You can't see the head move, and then, like I said, before it cuts to credits, you could tell that the scene pauses because it's that cheap '80s feel where I've seen that in so many movies.
Right.
It pauses, so you can't really tell. I could be totally wrong, but it looked like it to me. And yeah, that's the end of the movie.
Okay. All right. Let's rate it.
You want to rate it?
Yep.
You go first.
Okay. I like the fact of that the second one, a lot of people might disagree with me, but I want to say, me personally, the second one was a wee bit better than the first one because it was the first premiere of Jason. So
you like Jason as a character?
Yes.
That's cool.
So I want to say I'll give part 2 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Sitting here trying to calculate all the stuff in my head. That's exactly what I was going to do. No lie.
Right.
Yes, the movie is not that great. I like the first one better than this one, but also I like Jason as a character. The movie seems a lot of filler at times. They could have cut a lot of things, and the movie would have been probably like an hour and 15 minutes.
See, it's crazy because for years and years, maybe people back in the 80s whenever it first came out, but a lot of people over the course of 46 years now have always thought it was Jason that was killing everyone.
Yeah.
So I like the whole concept of people thought it was Jason, but they were still not quite sure who it was.
Yeah, from like 10 to 20 years earlier because everyone thinks of Friday the 13th, they think of Jason.
That's for me, that's what made Friday the 13th, the first one, so good. Because it was the not knowing who it is.
Yep. So yeah, 6.5. The movie's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Because I like the whole concept of Jason first appearing, but he's dressed in the overalls and with the burlap sack over his head and everything. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, I think I said it in the earlier, but it said that his look reminisced the killer from an earlier horror movie called The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
The Town That Dreaded Sundown, yeah.
Which I haven't seen, but I've seen a picture of the killer from the movie, and yeah, it's older than this one.
It's close.
So
yeah,
I can see. I don't think they stole the look. I wouldn't say they stole it.
No. They were just kind of using the feel of it, maybe, and they came up with the burlap sack thing. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the next one we get the hockey mask, which everyone knows. So
all right,
yes, that was 6.5 from each of us
overall. Yeah,
that was Friday the 13th Part 2, and yeah, we're gonna jump back into the MCU, and we will see you on the next Friday the 13th, which will, by the time this video comes out, which in 5 days, it'll be just another month. So thank you all for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment, and
leave some feedback.
Let us know.
Let us know what you think.
And thank you all. So you want to do the honors this time?
No, you got it.
All right, fine.
All right.
Thank you.